Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the PE building at Utah Valley University here in Orem, Utah, where the Wolverines are hosting the Vaqueros of the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. We're going to get right into it. I'm Kyle Bruderer alongside Dylan Harrison. Your starting lineups for the Vaqueros. First starting guard number 1, Bernicia Peters, a 5'3" freshman out of Spring, Texas. Also starting alongside is number 5, a 6'2" sophomore forward out of Iceland. That is Hildur Bjorg Karchensdottir. Also at guard, a 5'8" junior out of Copperas Cove, Texas, number 11, Shantae Goff. Also at guard, a 5'10" freshman out of Clovis, New Mexico, number 15, Nichelle Hyman. And then also, last but not least, is a 5'10" senior guard out of Los Angeles, or Louisiana, excuse me, and that is number 24, Raquel Preston. And head coach for the Vaqueros is Larry Tidwell in his 3rd season as head coach. Quite the exciting atmosphere here. But Dylan, we've got I don't know if it's 1 or 2 elementary school student bodies here, but it's pretty exciting here.
Yeah, we've got quite the fan base this afternoon. Little early game going on here at Utah Valley University, and we've got a good matchup ahead of us.
The Wolverines getting set for their starting lineups. First, we've got starting at point guard, number 3, a 5'3" sophomore out of Richmond, California. That's Mariah Seals. Also starting at forward, number 12, a 6'1" junior out of Midway, Utah, Rebecca Mawhinney. Also a guard, a 5'7" senior transfer guard out of Seattle, Washington, number 20, Patrice Tostin. Also starting today is number 35, a 5'9" sophomore guard out of San Diego, California, Deja Blanks. And then you can't forget about the big 6'5" center senior out of Boise, Idaho, number 40, Sam Loggins, there to disrupt things into the paint. Dylan, we were talking a little bit earlier. We weren't able to do much of a pregame today, but Rebecca Mawhinney has been shooting the ball very well as of late. She's been lighting it up from beyond the arc and really coming alive here in her junior season. What does she bring to this team?
Rebecca Mawhinney, she brings a threat on both ends of the court. Now on the offensive end, just like you mentioned, she knows how to put the ball in the basket. She's shooting a high percentage from the three-point line, 38%. That's 3rd in the WAC in three-point percent field goal. She also does a great job on the defensive end, getting defensive rebounds. She's averaging 6 boards a game.
She's actually been leading the team in rebounding lately, and it's something that Coach Nixon has had high praise for, especially because the Wolverines have struggled so much in the rebounding game this season, especially on those offensive rebounds, giving up 2nd and 3rd and even 4th chance opportunities. So we're ready for tip-off now. The Wolverines in their gray jerseys with green trim and the white numbers. And then you've got UTRGV in their bright orange jerseys with some black trim and white numbers as well. And we are ready to go. The ball is up, and the tip goes to Utah Valley. Mariah Seals brings the ball up to center. Now Deja Blanks on the right wing. Pulls up, they dump it down to Loggins one-on-one, and she gets it to rattle home for the first bucket of the game.
Great job by Sam Loggins getting in the paint deep. That's an easy turnaround jumper for Sam Loggins to start the game off.
Right wing is Peters. Peters steps back. Out to number 24, Preston. Now Shantae Goff gives the ball back to Peters. Peters deep out by the midcourt line, picked up by Tostin. Left wing out to Goff. And a deep three-pointer on the way off the back iron, no good, by Karchensdottir, and the Wolverines come up with a board. Deja Blanks, right wing, looking for a screen from Mawhinney. She gets it, pulls up for a free throw line. Jay, that rattles in and out, no good. Rebounded by Preston. Goff out to the right wing, going for the bank three-pointer was Peters, and that's no good.
Utah Valley, they've got to keep their eyes out on Peters and Goff. They both lit up Utah Valley in their meeting earlier in the season with 20 and 23 points apiece.
Mawhinney takes a three. Looks like Karchen's daughter had a solid defensive stand on her. Loggins gets the offensive board, turns around and hits the front iron, no good, but Goff comes up with it and she is off and running. Attacking the baseline with a floater was Hyman, no good, rebounded by Patrice Tostin. Still 2-0 with just over 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Seals finds a lane, goes up with a lefty scoop and scores.
There it is, Mariah Seals. She does a great job coming off that high ball screen. She loves to drive with her left hand and finish with the left hand at the rim. And there you have it, first bucket of the night for her.
4-0, UTRGV yet to score. And Tostin picks the pocket of Peters. Tostin a little 2-on-2, spin move inside, she goes up and scores with the left hand. What a move by Patrice Tostin. UVU goes up with a quick lead, 6-0. And that's the way you want to start off. You see the replay there. Difficult spin move, going left to right, right into the defender, and still manages to get it to roll over the rim into the net. So great play there by Patrice.
Yeah, that was a great job by Patrice, getting it started on the defensive end. She got the deflection on the steal, picked it up, and she did a great job avoiding the offensive foul and finishing at the rim.
And those elementary school kids over there sure know how to get loud. Director of Sports Marketing over there, Preston Darger, getting the kids into the game here. But he doesn't have to do much because the Wolverines are getting everybody into their game the way that they've been playing. And UTRGV, this is a really, really big game for both of these teams. Utah Valley, if you take a look at the WAC standings, UVU currently sitting at 4th, and UTRGV at number 2 behind New Mexico State. So this would be a gigantic victory for the Wolverines.
Yeah, definitely this win, if Utah Valley can pull off this win here this afternoon, that'll put them right up there, right behind UTRG. They can fight there for the second place spot in the WAC, and that would be huge for Utah Valley.
And if you take things into consideration, Grand Canyon is not eligible to play in the WAC tournament and that postseason opportunity, unfortunately for them. But if you're looking at it, Utah Valley is technically in 3rd right now, and so they want to fight for that, one of those top spots in the WAC. And Utah Valley off and running as UTRGV was unable to score, but Mariah Seals takes it to the lane and scores once more with ease. Seals with the reigning freshman of the year for the WAC. And man, these elementary school kids bring in the thunder. Offensive rebound there for UTRGV, but it goes out of play off of the Vaqueros, and UVU will get another offensive opportunity.
Texas Rio, they're off to a slow start here. Utah Valley's doing a great job on the defensive end, putting pressure on the ball, causing difficult shots to be taken by Texas Rio. And Utah Valley's really having their way on the offensive end.
Seals with a long 2, that rattles in and out. And the board goes to number 15, Hyman. Hyman just goes up the left side. She's met by Seals. Now Karchen's daughter goes in, a nice pass inside, but it is stolen right away from Mariah Seals. Seals up to Deja Blake. She goes right at her defender and scores. 10-0 Utah Valley. Goff, Karchen's daughter will take a 3. That's on the way, no good. Rebounded, offensive by Havili, and she is fouled on the putback. So first free throws of the game coming for UTRGV. Loggins will pick up her first personal foul, and that's, I think it's the first foul of the day for either team. Havili puts the Vaqueros on the board with a made free throw. She will get one more. It's on the way and good. 10-2, Utah Valley with the lead. Full court press coming now from the Vaqueros. They back off as Seals gets the ball. 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Hand off to Tostin. And Tostin gets fouled as she tries to get around the defensive stance of Peters. That'll be her first personal, and that'll be the first team foul on the Vaqueros. Seals gets the inbound. Seals comes around a Mawini screen, pick and pop. She has a wide open look. She takes it, no good off the back iron. Goff pushing up. Peters, floater inside on the baseline, and that goes for Peters, her first bucket today.
Peters wearing quite the knee brace on her right knee. We'll see how much that affects her here for the remainder of the game.
They dump it into Norris. Norris nowhere to go. They give it back to Norris, and Norris shuffled her feet as she was trying to create some space there. So a turnover on Utah Valley. Hyman will check back into the game for UTRGV. Goff brings it up. Skip pass over to Preston. Hyman, jab step, goes right in, bumps into Norris, nearly loses the ball. Karchensdottir goes right at Mawini and gets it to rattle home with the left hand.
Pretty move by Karchensdottir, using the step through past Mawini and able to get the 2 points for Texas Rio.
The Vaqueros with a little momentum here. They've trimmed that lead down to 4. It was 10-0 just a moment ago. Patrice Tostin finds a lane, left-handed lane, no good. And Utah Valley will get the ball back as it is knocked out of bounds by the Vaqueros. Checking into the game is Georgia Agnew and Sam Loggins for Utah Valley, and for the Vaqueros is number 44. That is Laura Von Tilburg. Seals on the baseline, gets it into Georgia Agnew. Agnew and Mawini both sporting those white headbands. Agnew, a nice pass inside to Loggins, and she floats it in. Loggins now with 4 points on 2 of 3 shooting. And we're gonna have an offensive foul as Deja Blanks hits the deck. Blanks did a great job moving her feet and staying in front. That'll be the second team foul for the Vaqueros, and they bring out the full court press yet again, trying to frustrate the Wolverines into a turnover. 4 minutes to play here in the first. Agnew up to Mawini. Now Agnew right wing, they're looking for Loggins. And we have an offensive foul. First personal foul on Georgia Agnew.
Georgia Agnew, she got caught there, giving a little forearm shove to the defender. Refs will catch that every time.
Goff out to Karchensdottir. She pulls the trigger from deep. No good. And UVU will get possession back. A great perimeter defense there. Karchensdottir very quick to pull the trigger. But the Wolverines have consistently had a hand in her face. And you could say the same thing about UTRGV on Rebecca Mawini. She's taken a couple of threes, and they have been very well contested. She's yet to connect. She'll get another look, though. Maybe this time. Nope, off the back iron once more. Rebounded by Karchensdottir.
Rebecca Mawhinney, she's just got to keep shooting. One of these is going to fall here soon for her, and she can get going on a roll.
Karchensdottir drives baseline, gets the ball back out to Van Tilburg, and we have another offensive foul as Mawhinney hits the deck. Twelve to 6, Utah Valley up, just under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Seals will take a long two. That's on the way off the back iron, and then Deja Blanks comes skying in for the offensive board. Mawhinney up top, picked up really quickly by Karchensdottir. Those two both seem to be the three-point specialists for their team, and they've been playing solid D on each other. We'll have a jump ball under the basket as Mariah Seals gets wrapped up. The ball will go back to the Vaqueros. UVU started off blistering hot, but they are one of their last 6 from the field. UTRGV in a bit of a scoring drought, haven't scored in the last 2.5 minutes either, so not a super high scoring game. Goff gets it into Karchensdottir, nearly stolen away. A long two on the way and no good, in and out from Havili. And Deja Blanks gobbles up the rebound. That'll be her 3rd rebound today. Deja Blanks will take a 3. That goes in and out, no good. Preston pulls up for a baseline J and buries it. 4-point lead once more. Tostin, left-handed scoop, and she scores. Outlet pass into Peters. Peters takes a 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Georgia Agnew. Does it seem like Patrice Tostin is just a completely different player right now than what we've seen before?
Definitely. She's playing with a lot more confidence and a lot more aggressiveness than we've seen in the past. I think she's taken on a role as a starter, quite well, and she's doing a good job attacking the basket and putting points on the board for the Wolverines.
The Wolverines got caught kind of watching Patrice go to work there on that left side, and then she had no one there to help when she got double teamed, so she turned the ball over. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter, 14 to 8, UVU. Goff crossover right to left, spin move, nowhere to go. She kicks it out for a deep 2, and that is not even close from Havili. And then you've got Seals attacking and kind of wedges it in between the rim and the backboard, no good. Preston will bring it up the right side. Pass inside, Karchensdottir. She tries to spin, nowhere to go. And a elbow J is no good from Havili. She is 0 of 3 from the floor. She has 2 points, though, as she hit those 2 free throws earlier. 20 on the game clock, 17 on the shot clock. Utah Valley trying to hold for a possible last-second shot.
Look for a high ball screen here, maybe a little isolation with Deja or Tostin on the wing.
Georgia finds a lane. She goes up with the right hand and scores. 3 seconds remain. Shantae Goff's going to have to shoot it. She fires from half court. Ooh, in and out, no good. 16 to 8, the Wolverines lead after 1 quarter. UVU shooting 42% from the field as a team, and UTRGV at 21%, 3 of 14. So UTRGV, I mean, they've been playing pretty good defense. You can't really blame them for that, but they just have not found the bottom of the net today.
Yeah, Utah Valley's doing a great job making them take difficult shots. They're all being contested jump shots or contested drives into the lane, and Utah Valley's doing a great job on the defensive end with help rotation. They've taken a couple charges so far in the first quarter already. So Utah Valley doing a great job on both ends of the floor here in the first quarter. Now I really like Georgia Agnew, that last play of the first quarter. She came off that high ball screen. And, sometimes we don't see Georgia Agnew super aggressive. Normally she looks to pass first, make that assist. But right there, she just took it all the way without hesitating and got the bucket right before the close of the first period. I really like that from her.
I agree. I think it was a very smart play from her, and I think she's aware that most teams don't see her as a scoring threat. She's had a couple of 20-point performances earlier on in the season today, but typically doesn't attack very much offensively, so I completely agree with you. All right, we are just about ready to get the second quarter underway. Leading the way for the Wolverines, we actually have 3 players with 4 points: Mariah Seals, Patrice Toston, and Sam Loggins. And then for UTRGV, you've got 4 players with 2 points. So the scoring's pretty evenly spread for both teams.
Yeah, Utah Valley's doing a great job holding Goff and Peters to a minimum thus far in the first period. Goff had 23 points in their last meeting, and Peters had 20.
And we're going to have a foul here as Preston basically ran through the screen of Rebecca Mawhinney. Pretty obvious call there. Toston inbounds to Georgia. Georgia dribbles over to the right wing, calling for some motion, gets it over to Toston in the right corner. Toston into Mawhinney. Mawhinney goes up, a lot of contact there, no whistle, but she gets it to go either way.
That was a great play drawn up by Coach Nixon coming out of the end of the first period, sending a little baseline backside screen for Rebecca Mawhinney to get the easy 2 points.
Preston pass inside to Havili. She goes up and she's swatted away by Sam Loggins. Peters will take a 3. That's on the way, no good, but she is fouled by Toston. So 3 free throws coming for Peters. Toston, such a good defender, just a little late getting over to try and rotate over to Peters on that 3-point attempt, and she's paying for it right here. Free throw good, she'll get 2 more. 18-9 UVU with 9:17 left to play in the first half. Second free throw good. And she gets all 3 to go. Press coming again. Not very aggressive, they back off pretty quickly. Toston gets it on the right corner again. They do the same thing. A nice pass inside to Mawhinney. Mawhinney was heavily guarded, but Toston put it right where it needed to be for the easy lay-in.
Yeah, that right there looked like a back shoulder football pass, by Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. And Rebecca Mawhinney with a great one-handed catch and finish.
Peters will take a corner 3, and she buries it. Peters, that's her 4th attempt, and that is her 4th attempt in the field, her 3rd from 3, so she's 1 of 3 from deep. And she stops the bleeding, cuts it to 6. Agnew goes in with a right-handed scoop and scores on Karchensdottir.
Great job by Georgia Agnew, turning that corner on Karchensdottir and getting the right-handed scoop.
Goff out to Preston. Preston drives to center, kick it out to Peters. Peters will shoot a 3 again, and that one's way too long. Right into the arms of Mariah Seals. Under 8 minutes to play here in the first half. Agnew, right wing, comes around a screen. Skip pass all the way to Toston. She'll take a 3. That's no good. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Vaqueros. So UVU gets the ball back with a new shot clock. Blanks checks back in for Utah Valley, and checking in for UTRGV is number 43, Murphy. Blanks picks up the dribble, tries getting it into Loggins, and that's stolen away easily by Murphy. Preston skips it over to Karchensdottir. She takes a baseline jumper and she nails it. 22-16 UVU. Seals goes right. Tries passing it inside to Loggins. It gets batted out, and Agnew goes up, and she is fouled. And it's an offensive foul.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, Kyle.
Looked like Agnew, you see on the replay, I don't know, it looked like Murphy jumped up into her, and there was contact there before Agnew committed the offensive foul. But we don't get paid to officiate. And the ball goes to the Vaqueros. Goff tries getting around a screen. Karchensdottir, a deep three, no good. Seals comes up with a board. That is her third rebound today. Seals will take an open three. That's on the way. Off the back iron, over the top of the backboard, and that will go out of bounds.
A good decision by Seals. Her defender went under the screen, so she had a wide open look from the three-point line. You know, she wasn't able to convert there, but good read by her. Noticing the defender went under, that's when you pull up and hit the jumper.
22-16, Utah Valley still leading, but the Vaqueros showing some life here. Shantae Goff picked up by Seals. Out to Preston on the right wing. Preston drives right, skips it out to number 4, Turk. Turk shoots it, no good, off the front iron. Battle for the board goes to, looks like it went out of play, so the Wolverines will get possession.
Texas Rio looks to be going to a little 2-3 zone here, trying to mix things up on Utah Valley.
Loggins gets smothered inside, Seals straight up. Agnew in the left corner. She skips it out to Mawhinney. She'll take a three, and she makes it. Mawhinney with her first three today. Mawhinney now with 7 points to lead all scorers.
But that's a mistake on Preston right there. She's got to recognize that Rebecca Mawhinney is on her side of the floor right there in the corner, and she's the three-point shooter. She's got to recognize that and get out on that.
Ball batted away by Loggins, and Georgia Agnew comes up with it. Agnew pulls back, nearly loses the ball, but UVU will set things up. Agnew pick and pop. Mawhinney wants a three, but she's picked up quickly. 10 on the shot clock. Agnew deep out at center. Agnew's going to go right at her defender's attack, and we're going to have a foul inside as Agnew ran into an orange wall. Carly Norris checks in for the Wolverines as Sam Loggins will get a breather. And Patrice Toston will check back in for Mariah Seals. Peters also has checked in for the Vaqueros. Blanks gets it into Toston. Fresh shot clock for UVU and Georgia Agnew up top. Norris gets it on the left elbow. Out to Mawhinney. Nice pass inside, a little give and go, and Norris scores off the glass. 27-16, Wolverines lead by 11. Jumper inside off the glass, no good, but we will have a foul inside. It looks like Toston. No, excuse me, that was not Toston. Deja Blanks will be called for the foul. That's her first personal. And we got a timeout on the floor here. Utah Valley leading 27-16. And we're going to take a break real quick on WolverineGreen.com. We'll be right back for the end of the first half.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
All right, we are back, and free throws coming for the Vaqueros. At the line is Murphy. She will get a pair. 4:32 left here in the first half, and the Wolverines up by 11. Utah Valley has led the entire game. Free throw rattles home for Murphy. She trims the lead down to 10. She buries both of them. 9-point lead for the Wolverines. Murphy will check out, and Karchin's daughter, as well as Havili, are in for the Vaqueros. Mawini up top. Deja Blanks left wing. They dump it down to Norris. Norris, nice footwork inside, and she scores once more. She doesn't necessarily have the size, but man, she is efficient on that low block.
Yeah, UTRGV, they've got to do a better job pushing her out and Sam Loggins out. You can't let someone post up, inside the restricted circle there. Like, that's too easy.
Seals knocks the ball out of bounds, but the Vaqueros get the ball back. They get the ball into Shantae Goff. Under 4 to play here in the second quarter. Karchin's daughter on the right wing drives baseline, pass inside to Havili. 2 on the shot clock. Preston has to shoot a deep baseline jumper. That's no good, and we're going to have an over-the-back foul on Karchin's daughter. Good box out there by Mawini. That'll be the first personal on Karchin's daughter. Agnew out to Deja Blank, straight on. Seals in the right corner. They're looking for Norris. And the ball is stolen away. UTRGV could read that like a book. They kept trying to go to Norris over and over again, and they just got right into the passing lane. Peters picks up the dribble out to Goff. Goff out to Peters. She'll pull the trigger. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Too long again. And Mawini comes up with her third board today. Georgia Agnew, left wing. They get the ball into Norris. Norris, same thing.
She's too fast. Tristan Murphy has got to do something different. She's got to, try and front her or, get some help side on the back. Because once Carly Norris gets the ball, she just
Peters
makes a turn and goes right by her.
Peters with a wide open baseline lane gets the lay-in for the Vaqueros. Peters leading all scorers with 10 points now. Mawhinney straight on. One dribble out to Mariah Seals on the left wing. Blanks in the right corner. Blanks crossover, goes inside. Back out to Agnew. 5 on the shot clock. Seals is going to take a 3. That is good. Seals with a big 3. Goff goes right at Seals, throws it up off the side of the backboard, and we'll have a timeout by the Wolverines with 1:39 to play here in the first half. Utah Valley with their largest lead of the game at 14, and UVU in complete control. 5 of their last 5 from the field, while the Vaqueros are 2 of their last 9. So UTRGV still struggling from the field. 24% as a team, in Utah Valley at 55%.
Yeah, Utah Valley, they're doing a great job getting off to a fast start early on. The last couple games, they had 24 points at half, 26 points the game before that. Right now they're at 34 points already, so they're above their average in points for the first half. They're doing a great job, working the ball inside, and then it's also creating some openings on the outside for some open three-point shots.
Wolverines looking to finish the first half strong. They pretty much already have, but they're trying to finish without making any mistakes here the last minute and a half. Little Horns offense for the Wolverines. Taylor Gordon getting her first burn of the game. Mawhinney, now Gordon straight on. 7 on the shot clock. Gordon gonna attack, goes up for a mid-range J and doesn't even get rim. No good for Taylor. Karchin's daughter, and Georgia Agnew jumps right into the passing lane.
Gotta go.
Agnew decides to hold back and set up their half-court offense. Gordon on the right wing, now Mawhinney straight on. 10 on the shot clock. Mawhinney, a nice pass inside to Loggins. Looked like Loggins may have been fouled. She's unable to connect there. 30 seconds left. Karchin's daughter back up to Goff, 20 on the shot clock. Goff gets a screen, comes back around. Karchin's daughter finds a lane, scooping with the right hand on the left baseline, gets it to go. 10 seconds remain. The Wolverines trying to get one more bucket in before halftime. 3 seconds. Agnew's going to pull up for a mid-range J, and she airballs it. Not even close, but the Wolverines, if you look at the positive side, 34-22. They go into halftime with a 12-point lead. What are some things that Utah Valley are doing right here? I mean, they lost on the road to UTRGV. They got lit up by, you said it was Shantae Goff, and who else was it that had 20 points? Peters as well. Peters leading the way with 10 points so far. She's on track for 20, but Utah Valley doing a really good job of putting the ball in the hole, and a great job defensively as well.
Yeah, definitely. Utah Valley, they're really feeding off the energy that's here in this gym right now. They've got quite the little fans out there this afternoon. In Utah Valley, they're doing a good job working the ball inside, getting some easy layups, and they're off of design plays. We saw the couple baseline plays early to Rebecca Mawhinney, and then we've also seen some pick and pops as well. So they're doing a really good job, mixing things up on the offensive end, but then on the defensive end, they're putting some good pressure on Texas Rio Grande.
Something that I have to talk about before we go to a break is Carly Norris has been absolutely stellar in the paint. She's been doing pretty much the same move. She gets the ball oftentimes on that left block and then takes one dribble and then uses her pivot to go kind of up and under on the right side with that right-handed scoop. We've seen it 2 or 3 times today. She's been super efficient. Norris with 6 points, 3 of 3 shooting, so she's been absolutely stellar. But we're going to take a break. We'll be back here in a couple minutes for a little halftime show, and then we'll be back again for the beginning of the second half. Stick around.
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
People talk about life after college, entering the real world. But this is engaged learning. I'm not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. I'm learning by doing. I'm at UVU. I'm in the real world every day.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college, and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
Welcome back to this halftime show. I'm Kyle Bruder alongside Dylan Harrison. The Wolverines putting together a very impressive homestand. They're shooting 50% from the field. And one of the biggest things to take away from here are their 28 points in the paint. The Wolverines are a very good from three. They're 2 of 8. But again, 28 points in the paint out of their 34. So, I mean, why is it that they're so efficient inside right now?
You know, they're doing a great job posting up down deep inside the paint. You know, UTRGV, they're not, you know, fronting them. They're not getting in the way. They're not making it difficult for Utah Valley, and Utah Valley simply, you know, taking advantage of those opportunities and getting it deep inside the paint, and that leads to easy points in the paint.
Now, the Vaqueros of UTRGV started out playing a man defense, and then they switched things up. They decided to go to a 2-3 zone. But the Wolverines have been able to really do whatever they want offensively. I mean, there's been a couple of good defensive stands from UTRGV. They've guarded the perimeter pretty well, which is probably why we haven't seen as many three-pointers from the Wolverines. But Mariah Seals, Patrice Toston, and Georgia Agnew have really been able to get to the basket at will. So the defense on the perimeter has been nice, but they've been banking on taking away the three more than anything else and letting their guards blow right past them. So Utah Valley, you know, everyone's scoring in the paint. And then the two post players, you got Sam Loggins, who's had a couple of easy looks inside, as well as Rebecca Mawhinney. They've drawn up a couple of nice plays for her inside. And then Carly Norris showing that she can do that little drop step inside and scoop it in with the right hand. So she's been super efficient. Leading all scorers right now for the Wolverines is Mariah Seals and Rebecca Mawhinney with 7 points apiece. So pretty even scoring, but again, you know, the Wolverines are just taking complete control today.
Yeah, Utah Valley's doing a really good job having a balanced scoring attack. You know, multiple guards are out there, you know, scoring. They're driving, you know, Deja Blanks, Patrice Toston, you know, driving is their go-to, and they're being given it, and so they're taking advantage of that opportunity. Now, something I want to point out, though, is Goff for UTRGV, you know, she's been a little quiet. You know, she had, you know, over 20 points against Utah Valley the last game. She's only put up, let's see, 2 field goals thus far in the game. You know,
she's been very passive.
Yeah, she's kind of been facilitating the offense for the most part. You know, look for her to be more aggressive here in the second half because they need some scoring and they need it fast.
Absolutely. You know, they've had a couple of good looks. It's just no one's really knocking any shots down for them today. They're shooting 27% from the floor. They're actually a perfect 7 for 7 from the free throw line. So that's been a strong point for them. And an interesting note as well is that the Wolverines have yet to take a trip to the free throw line. And that's something that has been huge for them all season. They're one of the top teams in the nation in trips to the free throw line. They average probably over 20 a game. And we've yet to see any of that. The Wolverines have been doing it without the three and without free throws, so their offense has been incredibly efficient. And I was talking to Kyle McDonald, who is the sports editor for the UVU Review here, and he's just, you know, we kind of laughed a little bit about how the Wolverines are typically a half-court offensive team. And today there's been a lot of transition offense. So it's been a little different, and that's why another reason why there's been a lot of points in the paint.
You know, I think the faster pace offense suits Utah Valley well. You know, I think it suits them better. You know, they have Deja Blanks, Patrice Toston, Rebecca Mawhinney, Mariah Seals. They're all athletic. You know, they can all get up and down the court very fast, and they can attack the rim, and they can hit shots outside. So Utah Valley needs to take advantage of that, and they need to keep pushing the pace, you know, until, you know, Texas Rio Grande stops them.
So that's going to do it for our halftime show. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here in about 3 minutes for the beginning of the second half. Don't miss it. You'll want to stick around. Welcome back. We're ready to start the second half, and UTRGV handles the ball first. Peters, a little contact there from Deja, no foul call. She finds a lane, Euro step, no good, rebounded by Karchensdottir, and the Vaqueros get the first points of the half. 34-24, Utah Valley with a 10-point lead. Rebecca Mawhinney on the right wing, looking for a cutter, gets it back out to Agnew. Mariah Seals on the right wing, tries going in for a left-handed scoop, and she rattles it home again. She makes that look so easy. That is such a hard shot. It's just mind-boggling.
You read my mind. That is
If
a
any
very
other
difficult shot.
If any other player on the court were to do that, then this whole place would be going nuts in disbelief. But the fact that she does it so much, it's just like, oh, well, she did it again.
Yep.
In the meantime, a free throw jumper goes in for Preston. So UVU trading buckets so far here at the beginning of this third quarter. Seals, pick and pop. Mawhinney doesn't take the three. They get it into Logan. She's double teamed, but she scores anyway. Logan's now up to 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Goff straight on, out to Preston. Preston looking for someone, gets it out to Goff, 15 on the shot clock. Goff comes around, a screen, being very passive still. Karchensdottir with a baseline jumper, and she buries it. So UTRGV, perfect from the field so far in the third quarter, keeping that lead right at 10.
I like the move by Karchensdottir, not settling for that three-pointer. She recognized she had some space. She stepped up, hit the little 15-foot jumper. That's her shot. That's her range right there.
Seals no good on the corner three. UTRGV trying to trim the lead down. Another baseline jumper, no good. Murphy gets her own rebound and cannot connect on the second try. Loggins comes up with a rebound. Still a 10-point lead. 7:40 to play in the third. Georgia Agnew up top, looking for a screen from Loggins. Pick and pop. Mawhinney gets a wide open look, and she does not quite knock it down. In and out, and an arid pass goes out of bounds off of the Vaqueros, so UVU with possession. This song drives me crazy, if you can hear it at home. Anyways, Georgia Agnew. Up top, Deja Blanks on the right wing. Finds Loggins, a nice pass inside. Loggins can't believe there was no foul call. She gets her own rebound and goes up off the glass and scores.
Great job by Loggins there, sticking with it. She got her own miss, and she turned and went straight back up as soon as she got it.
The officials really letting the Wolverines play. A deep pass inside to Deja Blanks, back to Agnew. UVU will set up their offense. Blanks takes a step back, Agnew straight on, 10 on the shot clock. Double screen on the right side. Agnew comes around that screen. She goes right at her defender and loses the ball out of bounds. Not the ideal possession. Taylor Gordon will check in for Deja Blanks. (40-28), the Wolverine lead back up to 12 with 6.5 to play in the third. Peters out to Goff on the left wing. Goff, pick and pop out to Karchensdottir. Karchensdottir goes up, looked like she may have traveled, and they save the ball inbounds to Georgia Agnew. And Agnew, unaware that Havili came right inside, and attacking Agnew and scoring was Peters. Peters now with 12 points to lead all scorers.
Georgia Agnew, she's got to recognize that. She's got to keep her eyes up on the floor and recognize that they had a 5-on-4 opportunity right there, and she's got to be aware of the defender catching her from the back.
Agnew finds a lane and scores with the left hand. 42-30. Goff pulls up for a mid-range jumper, and she banks it home. Goff with her first bucket of the game. She is 1 of 3 from the field, has not taken many shots.
She plays with a lot of energy. She's got a lot of pop to her step. You know, on that pull-up jumper, you saw the extra energy as she banked that one in.
Agnew out to Seals. Seals will take a 3. That is good. Seals knocks down her second 3 today. She is now 2 of 4 from deep with 12 points. Peters on the right wing trying to go at Agnew. She goes up on the right side and she is fouled by Georgia. So a pair of free throws coming for the point guard Peters. We'll have a media timeout on the floor. Looks like Carly Norris will be checking in for Sam Loggins. But UTRGV playing much better here in the second half. They are currently shooting 50% from the field. But the Wolverines hanging on to their lead as they're shooting 62% from the field. So some impressive scoring from both teams here.
Yeah, both teams looking to continue to put points on the board here in the second half. You know, something to point out is, you know, Texas Rio, you know, they're on a 2-game losing streak right now. You know, they start off WAC play with 5 straight wins in a row, but then they've had losses, you know, against New Mexico State and Seattle. You know, so they're looking to get back on that winning streak that they were on. You know, in Utah Valley, they're looking to make their way up the WAC standings, you know, and compete for that second spot.
And Utah Valley has been knocked out of the first round of the WAC tournament the last couple of years, and that is something that they would love to avoid this season. We've talked about it a number of times this year, but getting that second seed, you know, anything is possible. New Mexico State has been playing very well this year. Utah Valley only lost to them by about 5 points on the road, and New Mexico State will be visiting the Wolverines on Saturday. So that'll be a huge game. Be sure to tune in on the WAC Digital Network. That's the WAC Digital Network game of the week. And that'll be a big way for the Wolverines to, kind of a big measuring stick to measure how far they've come so far this season. And Utah Valley, I mean, they seriously have the potential to take that second or first spot. Just depends if they continue to play consistent like the way that they've been playing today.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully they'll have a good fan base like they do here this afternoon. You know, you can definitely feel the energy that's in here. Utah Valley's playing with a little bit more energy than we're normally used to seeing, and, you know, it's paying off. You know, they got the 12-point lead here in the third period.
Free throw, the second free throw is no good, and the officials talking it over. It looks like it was knocked out by the Vaqueros. So 45-33 with 4:45 left here in the third quarter. Seals out to Taylor Gordon. Gordon comes to center. Now Deja blanks. Seals in the corner. Deja skips it out to Mawhinney. Gordon back out to Deja. Deja tries finding a lane, loses the ball. And now Preston pushes up the right side. Preston inside to Murphy. Murphy turnaround jumper, that's good. Murphy now with 4 points.
Now watch Murphy down here on this defensive end. The last possession, she was doing a great job, you know, trying to make it a difficult entry pass to Carly Norris. So watch for her, fans, as Utah Valley continues to try and push the ball inside that paint.
She's been super destructive. She came up with that last steal on that last possession. So I think that, you know, defensively, she's probably given the Wolverines the most trouble today. Mawhinney up top, Toston on the left wing. Tried to dump it down to Norris, and Norris is fouled, trying to get that entry pass. Murphy picks up her first personal foul. That'll be the second team foul on the Vaqueros. And Gordon tried to give it back to Mawini as Mawini stepped in, but Mawini ran out to the three-point line. So the pass goes out of bounds. 10-point lead for the Wolverines. Preston, left wing, heavy pressure coming. Peters will take a three. That's on the way. No good. But Murphy comes up with the board. Murphy with a left-handed scoop. No good. And looks like Preston comes up with a board, and she is fouled on the putback. The shot did not fall, but free throws coming again for UTRGV. And still the Wolverines have yet to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's shocking. You know, Toston, Blanks, they're normally always getting to the free throw line on their drives.
Norris will check out and Loggins will check in. The Vaqueros 9 of 10 from the free throw line. They'll get one more here. And Preston does not make the second. That rattles out. Seals drives over to the right side. Mawini skips it out to Toston in the corner. Toston now to Mawini. And looks like we're going to have a foul on the Vaqueros.
Murphy and Loggins are really battling down in there. Murphy does not want to give up, you know, that deep inside the paint position for Loggins, and Loggins just keeps battling for it. We got quite the battle going on.
Toston tried to get the inbound pass, but it is batted out by Preston. Or Hyman, excuse me. Gordon gets it into Mawini. Mawini falling out of bounds is able to save it. And we have an offensive foul on Rebecca Mawini. Preston on the left wing. Preston drives center, kicks the ball out. Now Murphy on the baseline. And a wide open cutting Karchensdottir. Gordon forgot to guard her.
Yeah, that was a great back cut by Karchensdottir. Great vision by Murphy turning, you know, and seeing her on the back cut and hitting her.
The Vaqueros have trimmed the lead down to 7. Loggins with a jump hook, no good. Preston pulls up, Karchensdottir out to Peters. Baseline jumper from Preston, no good, and Loggins tries to come up with a board, and we've got a battle for it and a jump ball as Mawini and Karchensdottir dive onto the floor for it. Deja Blanks will check back in for Rebecca Mawini.
UVU is getting a little stagnant on the offensive end. You know, they're really looking hard to get it inside, you know, but their guards are kind of standing out on the outside. They need to, you know, look to push the pace a little bit, you know, get some inside out action going on.
You know, Murphy getting a little too aggressive once more inside. That's going to be her third personal foul. And UVU not moving very much, trying to get the ball in. The ball is batted out in the corner, and that'll go off of the Vaqueros. Blanks gets it in to Mariah Seals. A minute and a half left here in the third quarter. They dump it down to Loggins. Loggins gets a good look, no good. Toston tries to get the offensive board, but unable to do so. Nice pass inside. Karchensdottir with a wide open lay-in. 5-point lead now. UVU has turned the ball over 3 times in the last 3 minutes. Deja Blanks, nice move inside. The footwork, beautiful. Loggins comes up with the offensive board, and that is no good either. Under a minute to play here. Peters with the ball. In the third quarter, I mean. Preston skips it over, and the ball rattles in and out, no good. Loggins comes up with the rebound. About a 1.5 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Seals out on the left wing.
See if Seals can get a little penetration here inside the paint. Maybe look to kick it out for an open three or another drive.
Seals crossover right to left. She goes right in and scores! Preston's gonna heave it, and no good. So a great way to finish off the third quarter for Utah Valley. Things were getting a little dangerous as the Vaqueros trim the lead down to 5. That lead now at 7 with 1 quarter remaining. So, you know, I would say the momentum is completely in favor of UTRGV right now.
Yeah, definitely. Texas Rio Grande, they're doing a great job on the offensive end. You know, they're taking advantage of the missed shots that Utah Valley's been having. You know, they're one of their last 5 field goals. And UTRGV, they're getting it and they're pushing the pace. And we saw earlier Peters hitting the running Carchin's daughter down the lane. You know, those are 2 fast break points. Slowly but surely, you know, Texas Rio Grande is chipping away at Utah Valley's lead. And it's going to put some pressure on Utah Valley to finish it off here in the fourth quarter.
1 quarter remains here, and Utah Valley's field goal percentage starting to take a little bit of a dip. They're still shooting at a high percentage at 46%, but you know, you said it, and Utah Valley still, it's just kind of baffling to me that they have yet to take a free throw. They've yet to even attempt a free throw, while the Vaqueros are 9 of 11. So that's really what's kept the Vaqueros in this game, is their efficient free throw shooting, and then that third quarter completely in favor of the Vaqueros.
Yeah, UTRGV outscoring Utah Valley 18-13 in that third period. Utah Valley's got to come out here in this fourth period and come out very aggressive. They need to continue to attack the rim and not, you know, be stagnant on offense. They need to look to put points on the board, you know, and extend their lead. They can't just play to hold on to their lead. They got to look to extend the lead.
And over half of UTRGV's points have come from second chance points or off of turnovers. So both things that the Wolverines can try and control a little bit better. We are underway, the final period. Carchin's daughter, spin move inside, and she is blocked out of bounds by Sam Loggins. They get the ball into Murphy, back out to Peters. Peters on the left wing. Trying to find Murphy, but they have to skip it back out to Goff. Goff finds a wide open jumper, and she buries it from the elbow. 47-42, 5-point lead again. Tossed it in the right corner. Back out to Mawhinney. They dump it down to Loggins. Loggins turn around, jump hook, and that's good. Loggins up to 10 points with 5 boards. Peters answers with a 3. We'll have a timeout by Coach Tidwell. And it is a 4-point lead. The Wolverines controlled so much of this game. They led by as many as 14 points at the end of the first half, and UTRGV trims it down to 4. So, I mean, what does UVU have to do to extend that lead back and get a little bit more comfortable.
Utah Valley, they can't tense up. You know, a lot of teams, when they have a lead and the lead starts shrinking as the game, is nearing the end, they start to, tense up, tighten up, and they don't play freely. Utah Valley, they were playing freely that whole first half, and that's why they had such a good lead, comfortable lead for them. That they need to get back to that here in this fourth period. Coach Nixon needs to tell her players, it's okay, we still got the lead, plenty of time left. We want to go out and extend this lead, see if we can beat them by more than 10 points. That should be their goal, to beat them by 10.
I could not agree with you anymore. You said it best.
Utah Valley, they've had a lot of games. A lot of their losses have been less than 10 points. All these games coming down to the fourth quarter. Utah Valley's got to continue to progress as the season goes on, and this can be a big stepping point, before their game against New Mexico State, showing that they have the capability to close off a good team in the fourth period.
Absolutely. All right, Georgia Agnew brings the ball up across midcourt for Utah Valley. Now Seals on the right wing. Seals out to Agnew. They skip it out to Tostin. Seals fakes the pass, pulls up the dribble. Agnew left wing. They're trying really hard to find Loggins in the paint, but the defense has been focusing so much on Sam Loggins. Seals will take an open three, and that is no good. Rebounded by Karchensdottir. Shantae Goff will bring the ball up. Peters straight on. Goff pick and pop out to Karchensdottir. She takes a long two, and that's an air ball. Preston tries to save it, but she stepped out of bounds. So UVU will get the ball back. Still a 4-point lead for the Wolverines. Loggins comes up the right side, hand off to Seals. Now Tostin. Seals had a look, didn't take it. She goes up, skips it back out to Tostin. Seals fakes, goes up, and she is swatted away by Karchensdottir.
Big time play by Karchensdottir on the backside, helped to block that.
And a big, big three once more from Peters. It is a 1-point game. Seals right wing. Takes a screen from Mawhinney. Back out to Mawhinney. She takes a three. That's on the way and way too long. An air ball. Georgia Agnew tracks down the loose ball. Tostin has a look from three. She pulls the trigger. Way too long again. And Agnew comes up with another offensive opportunity for Utah Valley. Four on the shot clock. Agnew's gonna have to shoot. Crosses over. She goes into the lane and doesn't even get the rim. So a shot clock violation by the Wolverines. .648 left here in the game, and UTRGV trying to take the lead. They're on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes, in UVU 0 of their last 5 shots.
Georgia Agnew, she's really got to get up in Peters' grill. Peters feeling it right here coming down the fourth quarter stretch.
Peters goes up, and that goes in and out, no good. The ball's rebounded by Murphy, but Murphy can't put it back. Agnew, Mawhinney gets it at center. Seals in the right corner. Tostin drives baseline, goes up, skips it out to Seals. Seals will go in, and she gets it. No, rattles out, no good. Peters out to Preston. Preston pulls up for the mid-range J. That's no good. And the Wolverines come up with a rebound.
Great box out by Tostin there on Murphy, not letting Texas Rio get a second chance opportunity there.
Tostin gets it into Loggins. Loggins, good position, and she is fouled. So first free throws of the game coming for the Wolverines. And they could not have come at a more crucial time. 5:40 left in the game. UVU desperate for some points. They haven't scored in over 3 minutes. Free throw up and good. Loggins buries a big free throw. Murphy checks out for the Vaqueros, and checking in is Havili.
UTRGV, they switched to that 2-3 zone in the second period in the first half, and they've been sticking with it throughout the rest of the game. They're basically daring Utah Valley to shoot the three because they're not really shooting it well right now. They're playing great on the help side drives. Utah Valley's got to get some shots to fall here down the stretch.
Loggins knocks down the second free throw, so a 3-point lead now for the Wolverines. Karchensdottir goes inside, and she traveled. The Wolverines caught a lucky break because she passed it inside and looked like the Vaqueros could have gotten a bucket out of it. 5.5 to play here in the game. Seals right wing. They dump it down to Norris. Norris back out to Deja Blanks. Agnew finds a lane, and she is blocked. The ball goes out of bounds. 8 on the shot clock, so the Wolverines will have to put something together pretty quick. Blanks gets it into Tostin. Tostin attacking, loses the ball, hits the deck. Not quite sure what happened, but the Vaqueros will get the ball back. 5 minutes left. Peters with the ball. She has led the comeback for the Vaqueros with 19 points. Peters goes through, tries to split the double team, but she is fouled. Looks like the foul is on Georgia Agnew. That's going to be her 4th personal. 4:47 left here in the game. Man, this has turned into an exciting finish.
Yeah, UTRGV, they're doing a great job on the offensive end and on the defensive end. They're playing stifling defense on Utah Valley, making them take difficult shots. They've had like 3 or 4 blocks in the last few possessions now. And so Utah Valley, they're trying to get to the rim, but Texas Rio denying them each and every time. One thing to point out, Peter, she's really picked it up here in the 4th period. She's one of those gamer type players. When the game's on the line, she wants the ball in her hands. You can tell, she's not afraid to take those big time shots. Don't be surprised if the coach sets up a 3-point play for her, coming out of this timeout, or maybe in one of the near possessions coming up.
Absolutely. Utah Valley, I think the defense has been lacking a little bit for UVU here in the second half, and the defense of the Vaqueros has been so much better. They've really shut down the interior scoring for Utah Valley, and yeah, there's been a couple buckets here and there, but I think that's what's allowed them to really get back into this game the way that they have. Clearly the offensive outbursts, but UVU, 0 of their last 7, they have not been able to get good looks.
Yeah, it's been difficult for them. Hopefully Coach Nixon has drawn up a play for UVU coming out of this timeout. They can get a good look.
And Mawhinney gets a hand on the ball, but it is batted into the hands of Shantae Goff, so a near steal, but the Vaqueros in possession. Goff out to Karchensdottir. She takes a free throw, Jay. That's no good. Agnew comes up with the rebound. Agnew speeds up the floor. She attacks and scores with the left hand. Peters gets blocked by Loggins. That's her third block of the day. Did I say Peters? That was Preston, actually. Mawhinney with a three! The Wolverines with some much-needed offense.
Look,
4 minutes remaining.
great job by Utah Valley coming out of that last timeout, playing aggressive on the defensive end, leading to that turnover, fast break layup, and then Mawhinney knocking down a big-time three.
Karchensdottir loses the ball. Agnew's off and running again. Agnew pulls back on the left side. She's picked up by Preston. They'll pull back, letting a little time trickle off. And we have a foul away from the ball. Looks like it's going to be on Havili. What's her second personal? Karchensdottir will check out of the game, and checking back in is Turk. Blanks gets the ball into Agnew. Seals has a look from three. She doesn't take it. They're trying to find Loggins again, but Havili doing a great job of getting her out of position. Deja Blanks, little leap and lean, and she gets it to go off the glass. Turk, right wing. Seals comes in with another steal. The Wolverines putting together a huge defensive stand. Seals is blocked. Looked like there may have been a foul, but Agnew is there to clean it up and get the bucket. A 12-point lead for the Wolverines with just over 2.5 to play. Peters goes right at Agnew. Up and under, gets it to rattle home. Peters now with 21 points.
That's a tough shot right there by Peters. She did a great job, recognizing that Agnew had her stop, but she did a creative little step-through move there and was able to get the shot off.
Agnew, pass inside to Loggins, and Loggins scores. The Wolverines really coming alive right here. They've gotten back-to-back steals, and they have been knocking down buckets. They are 5 of their last 6. Goff will pull up for a mid-range J. That's no good. And the Wolverines with possession again.
Utah Valley playing with a little bit of fire here in the last couple minutes of this fourth period.
We're going to have a foul on Shantae Goff. That'll be the third team foul on the Vaqueros.
Texas Rio looking to put in some subs here, probably to get some quick fouls. They got to do anything they can to extend this game.
Agnew gets the ball, and coaches of UTRGV screaming at their players to foul quickly, trying to get the Wolverines to the free throw line. One more foul will do it. Deja Blanks able to get it. No, she gets the ball taken away, and Peters with a wide open lay-in. She gets it to go. We'll have a timeout on the floor by the Vaqueros. And it's down to a 10-point lead. A minute and a half left in the game. The Vaqueros have gone on some pretty impressive runs today, so I wouldn't rule it out. Utah Valley's just got to handle the ball and play smart and knock down free throws, because we know there's free throws coming.
Yeah, definitely. Utah Valley, they've only shot but 2 free throws so far today. So we'll see. They're going to be a little bit rusty because they haven't been shooting them this game. See who on Utah Valley will step up and knock down some big-time free throws to close this game out.
UVU with 4 players in double figures. Seals with 14, Agnew 10, Mawhinney 10, and Loggins with 14. So impressive scoring output by several Wolverines. Agnew to inbound on the baseline. They get it into Mawhinney. Mawhinney gets double teamed quickly. She has nowhere to go, and Mawhinney will call timeout.
Smart play by Rebecca Mawhinney there. She was expecting to get a foul, but UTRGV, they chose to not foul. They chose to go with that quick trap, try and get a steal. And Mawhinney realized that she had nowhere to go, so she wisely used that timeout for Utah Valley to keep possession.
Sometimes when you're a player and you assume that the other team is going to foul you really quickly, you almost let up your guard and you kind of anticipate contact rather than protecting the basketball. And so it makes it easy for them to trap you and either tie you up, get a jump ball, or steal the ball. So that's something that you definitely got to be aware of and try and push the ball up the floor. Don't wait for them to try and foul you. You want to try and get the ball up the floor, let some time go off, and handle the ball. They get the ball into Mawhinney. Mawhinney holds on. Now Deja Blanks is fouled. Blanks will head to the free throw line. Blanks' first free throw is no good. Second free throw is good. She splits the pair. And Norris will check in for Loggins. Looks like UVU they're gonna bring out some pressure. And an arid pass nearly goes out of bounds.
Well, they got lucky there.
Preston with a three! Peters, not Preston. And Blanks gets fouled again.
Now Peters almost throws the ball out of bounds as her teammate wasn't even watching her back in the backcourt. And then they go over and gather it back together, and then Peters just pulls up for another three. When she's 4 for 9 from the three-point line, she is not afraid to shoot.
She is having quite the night with 26 points. Blanks able to knock down the free throws. 65-55. Peters shoots another three. That's no good this time, and Blanks tracks it down. They'll foul her again. This is going to be a lengthy 54 seconds. 65-55, Utah Valley up 10. Deja Blanks trying to make it 12. Blanks knocks down the first. 8 points now for Deja, and 5 boards with 2 assists. She knocks down both. Peters comes up the right side. Peters, crossover, loses the ball, Seals dives on it. And looks like we may have a jump ball. The ball will go back to UVU. Agnew to inbound. Agnew gets it into Blanks. And they'll foul Blanks again. Blanks looking to get into some double-digit scoring as well. She's got 9 points.
Peters for UTRGV. She's looking at a new career high. She's just a freshman. Her previous career high was actually against Utah Valley in their previous meeting. She had 20 points, but here this afternoon, she's up to 26 points. Don't be surprised if she tacks on a few more in these closing 40 seconds, but a career high afternoon for Peters.
Peters brings it up, she's straight on. And a bank shot, a floating bank shot by Kuzik goes, and they're gonna foul Rebecca Mawhinney. Deja Blanks also in double-digit scoring, so 5 Wolverines with 10 points or more.
Utah Valley doing a great job knocking down these free throws here down the stretch. 9 for 10 for the game.
Mawhinney's free throw is no good. That rattles in and out, but she will get one more. 32.5 seconds remain. The Wolverines leading by 12, so this one is all but over. Mawhinney knocks down the second. Patrice Tosson will check into the game for Rebecca Mawhinney. Kuzik picks up the ball. Kuzik drives in, goes up, unable to score, and Deja Blanks comes up with a big rebound. They foul her again. Bennett picks up her second personal foul. Free throw for Blanks is good. 12 points for Deja.
Utah Valley second in the WAC standings for points per game, averaging about 67 points per game. They're up to 71 here this afternoon, so they're right above their average.
Three-pointer on the way, no good from Peters, and Georgia Agnew comes up with a board. That should do it. They get it into Norris, and Mariah Seals will just dribble it out. That's going to do it. 71 to 57 for the Wolverines over the Vaqueros of UTRGV. So a huge, huge home victory for the Wolverines. Utah Valley now goes up to 4-4 in the WAC, and UTRGV drops to 5-3.
Utah Valley did a great job there. You know, UTRGV had the momentum the whole second half up until about 3 minutes. There was that timeout. Utah Valley came out, hit it, got a steal, a fast break layup. Mawhinney hit a three, and then things just took off from there. I mentioned it earlier. They should try and push the lead out to about 10. And they got to that point with 1:30 left. They had a 10-point lead. And that's a very nice cushion that you want to have at the end of a close game. And Utah Valley did a great job closing it out with big free throws down the stretch and sealing off the victory.
And Utah Valley just came off of a loss at Bakersfield, 61 to 54. So again, a big victory at home, and an even bigger game coming up. We mentioned this earlier. New Mexico State will be visiting Orem, Utah on Saturday at 3 o'clock, so be sure to tune into that and see if the Wolverines can steal a win from the unbeaten in WAC play Aggies of New Mexico State.
I like how Utah Valley pushed the pace in the first half. They kind of struggled there at the beginning of the second half, but then to close the game out, they went back to that up-tempo, attack, aggressive mode. That's how they need to play always. They need to be always in attack mode, put the other team on their heels, make them make plays.
And that is going to do it for us today. 71-57 again is your final score. Leading the way for the Wolverines. Seals, 14 points. Loggins, 14 as well. Blanks finished with 12. Mawhinney had 11, and Georgia Agnew with 10, nearly a double-double. Agnew with 10 points, 9 boards, and 6 assists. So Agnew with an all-around very impressive game. And again, you got to talk about the career night for Peters, who finished with 26 points on 9 of 19 shooting, 4 of 11 from deep. She had the bulk of the scoring for the Vaqueros. I'm Kyle Bruder, alongside with Dylan Harrison. Be sure to tune in on Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.